And Jeff McMahon is a pro-abortion philosopher. And he admits, Jeff McMahon, he admits that the pro-abortion position cannot make sense of or defend this idea of human equality. Human equality. Oh, wait, equality? Equality. You mean the thing that pro-choicers use to defend abortion, that we need abortion for women's equality because they're equal? Well, he's saying, well, if we're honest, the pro-abortion position can't really reconcile with human equality. And here's what he says, okay? This is powerful. He's one of the leading philosophers creating the arguments defending abortion. And he says, all this leaves me profoundly uncomfortable. It seems virtually unthinkable to abandon our egalitarian commitments. But the challenges to our position, what challenges? The pro-life position's challenges to their position. The challenges to our position support skepticism about the compatibility of our beliefs with the fact that the properties on which our moral status appears are all matters of degree. It is hard to avoid the sense that our egalitarian commitments rest on distressingly insecure foundations. All right, what is Jeff McMahon saying here? I know some of this language is a little bit philosophical. He's saying that when pro-lifers critique our position by saying that, hey, you're saying that human value is based on degreed properties, like self-awareness, right? But do we all have the same degree of self-awareness? No. Hey, Jeff, you're saying that human personhood and a right to life is based on the ability to feel pain. But do we all feel pain to the same degree? No. Hey, Jeff, you're saying that the right to life is based on desires. And so if you desire a right to life, then you have it. But if you're not aware of your own desires for a right to life, like an unborn fetus, then you don't have a right to life. But hey, doesn't desires come in varying degrees as well, Jeff? You see what I mean? So he's saying that the pro-life critique against our argument actually does support skepticism about the compatibility of our beliefs with the fact that the properties on which our moral status appears are all matters of degree. Okay, right, so he's saying that if you base human rights on things that come in varying degrees, it would follow that, therefore, that rights come in varying degrees. So those, for example, who have a greater self-awareness or more desires would have a greater right to life than those who have less of a self-awareness or less desires, right? That's what he's saying. And this is what Lincoln said in regards to the pro-slavery arguments, right? Lincoln said, you say A is white and B is black. It is color then. The lighter has the right to enslave the darker. Take care, by this rule, you are to be a slave to the first man you meet with a skin fairer than your own, right? You see, Lincoln saying, well, skin color comes in varying degrees. So if you base rights on things that come in varying degrees, it follows that rights therefore come in varying degrees. Okay, Jeff is responding to the same critique by pro-lifers against the pro-abortion position. And he's saying, yeah, you're right. You're right. Your critique does cause me to be skeptical about the compatibility of my pro-choice position with the fact that all of the functions and properties on which personhood appears are all matters of degree. And so therefore, he says, it's hard to avoid the sense that our egalitarian commitments rest on distressingly insecure foundations. What he's saying there is that, I may not be able to provide a philosophical defense of this idea of human equality between the sexes, between the races, between the ages, when I'm grounding those rights on things that in and of themselves appear gradually and in varying degrees. So I hope that made sense. I tried to break that down. That's what he's saying. And he's saying, all this leaves me profoundly uncomfortable. So there's a leading philosopher who defends abortion saying that the best arguments he has come up with still do not cause him to remain comfortable with his position.